They're willing and able, and they're wanting to play this match. So let us go ahead and get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, you may know Tommy as a former CTM Masters event winner. Won this event all the way back in April of 2021. April 2021, over 3 years ago, and still relevant at the highest levels of Tetris. Did beat Tristop in the final, so that was one of those times when Tristop almost got there, but instead it was Tommy. And Noah, or Dengler. You've seen him variously on this broadcast as Dengler and Noah Dang, and all the same person. Fresh off a victory in the Northeast Regional yesterday. So sorry for the spoilers, guys, but there's always a this is a spoiler stream, all right? You know, this stream is for people who are up to date in Tetris and want the very latest. 147 for Tommy, 143 for Dengler. Dengler also a multi-time winner of our various tournaments below the Masters level, having won a Challenger circuit this year in January, one in May 2023. Those are the feeder tournaments that feed into the Masters event if you win. And also a very high showing in this year's Classic Tetris World Championship. And maybe I won't spoil it for you, or maybe I will. I don't know. Should I spoil it? Maybe I won't. But a good finish, and actually back-to-back good finishes in CTWC. I really want to spoil it. These players have faced each other exactly one time in the Classic Tetris Monthly Cinematic Universe. And that was a round one match last year in October. That must have been Faster Masters. Was that Faster Masters, October 2023? No, that wasn't Fasters. Was that Fasters? That sounds to me like Faster Masters. It was, yeah. So that was the Faster Masters 2. And they faced each other in round one. So they've never faced each other in a kind of regular CTM tournament. Faster Masters, of course, was level 19 start with an abbreviated kind of super kill screen coming in at 200 lines. And Tommy took out Dengler in a sweep in round one, but it probably took like 6 minutes. 367 Dengler, 369 for Tommy. There's a lot of players in this tournament this month who have yet to win a CTM Masters event. And, you know, of course, there are a lot of accomplishments that you can have in the Classic Tetris scene, but I still think the Masters event is one of those kind of quintessential I have arrived kind of accomplishments. I think they still think of it that way. Tommy already having won one. Dengler, not yet, but I mean, what, you know, I think that would put a real exclamation point on Dengler's year. Again, had a great CTWC run, just won the Northeast Regional. And it's something that he's had multiple shots at doing. Tommy, of course, would love to win one as well, just because, the last time he won it was over 3 years ago. And it would kind of, sort of solidify, his position as a long-term kind of dominant figure in the classic Tetris scene. So I think they both want to win. Now, if Tommy were to win this, that would set the record for the longest period of time between Masters victories. Currently belongs to Zafanya Nenu across 2019 and 2021. That was 20 months in between victories. $4.79 for Tommy. Freezy Burn with the $50 contribution to the prize pool. Thank you, Freezy Burn. That's going to bring our pool up to $14.06. Thank you, Freezy Burn. Really appreciate that. $50. If we string together a bunch of $50 ones, we can really get to that $2,000 incentive in no time. $6.75 for Dengler, $5.53 for Tommy NTG. Dengler, of course, earlier, I want to say, it was this year, right? Earlier this year was the first ever player to get a perfect max out, meaning all Tetrises, no burns, max out. And so kind of known for these pace games. But this is a tournament. Perfect doesn't matter. It's survival that matters. And Dengler, of course, winning that tournament yesterday. So maybe starting to put all this together to start maybe, making a run. $6.73 for Tommy, $8.51 for Dengler. Now this event right now, players, the same player has won what, 4 months in a row? Alex T, and he's still alive in this tournament. He's in the semis. 3 months. 3 months. 4. Yeah, sorry. I do this stuff all the time. So looking to make it back 4 back. That would be the first one ever, but he's won it 3 months in a row. And it's this is kind of a wide open month for non-winners. Or not yet winners. 974 here for Dengler, 776 for Tommy. So Dengler up about 200,000 points, or a little under that. But we have only 4 previous winners this month out of 16. So every once in a while you get one of those months where a few top players are kind of taking a break or unavailable. And that does leave open an opportunity for people to get their first one. 1.1 from Dengler here on 27. 886 for Tommy. $5 contribution says, whoops, another rabbit hole. Thank you for the $5 contribution to the prize pool. Freezy Burn, by the way, along with their contribution, says, got really into watching Tetris after the Summoning Salt documentary. I want these guys to be blowing minds for years to come. So thank you, Freezy Burn. We are into 29. Kind of a little trouble on that left side for Tommy. Oh, and he's going to hang a bar. Can he get one over? The answer appears to be no. And that's going to be a top out for Tommy in game number 1. And Dengler is good. So Tommy cannot survive the transition into level 29. Kind of transitioned a little bit, weighted over to the right side, and just was not able. Just one little hang there, kind of a missed 5-tap to the left. Let us not delay. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, that's a good. People saying, oh, well, this time it was Tommy who got the early top out. No, that was a top out into that. I mean, that was that. Does that count as an early top out? Is anything before 29 now early? So what do you consider, in chat, let me know, what do you consider an early top out? How many lines in? What level? All right, Dirty Tetris here for Tommy, 50,000. I still think of like canonically early top out is on 18. But, you know, a surprising top out is early 19 speed. Vits for Dengler gets filled in, 93,000 for him, 96,000 for Tommy. Doc Pie says Masters before 35, Community on 18, between before 29. That seems a little aggressive to me, Doc. Dengler with a Tetris, but has some gaps and issues to take care of now. 166 Tommy, 147 Dengler. A classic East Coast, West Coast battle. Dengler on the east, Tommy on the west. SV Nestra says every game that isn't 1.8 into 39 is a failure. We're not quite there yet. But who knows? I mean, that could be the case where players just get so consistent that it would be surprising if they don't get that. And that's the time when we have to, you know, maybe we need the level 49 super duper kill screen. $289 Tommy, $253 for Dengler. You can double their scores to get a sense of their 19 transition pace. Tommy left side, that L is going to complicate things a little bit. It's going to slow him down a bit. Might allow Dengler back into it, but actually kind of setting up Dirty here. He's going to have to take another skim if he wants the Dirty. Or another, well, yeah, he's just going to take that triple. He's not going to mess around. If you start trying to nurse that well for a while, you can just end up burning way too many lines. 344 Dengler, 347 Tommy. And Tommy set up Dirty now. Left well, 3 rows up. And there's a Tetris Tommy, 370. Dengler gets one in the meanwhile. Oh, that bar didn't make it all the way to the right for Dengler. So that is going to force him into a couple of burns here. Tetris Dengler, 421, 376 Tommy. Tetris Dengler, 490. 425 Tommy NTG. Tacky says, I still want my under 100K league. I mean, it exists. You say it every time, but I don't know what other words to use, Tacky, to let you know that exists. Just go to TNP. They have it. It exists. Of course, I met Tacky in Montreal last week. Seems like a nice man. Tommy's got to be careful here as he approaches 19. Taking a skim here. Dengler's in there first, though, at 566. Tommy's not going to listen, though. He prefers doing things his own way. Oh, and he covers it well just in time for that bar to come. See if we can get another one quick. And both players here covered wells. Dengler's going to uncover. Tommy uncovers. And Dengler, the first one with the bar and another one. A couple Tetrises here for Dengler, 646. Tommy's going to bring his stack down with Tetris as well. What does NTG mean in Tommy's name? Someone asked. It means NES Tetris Gamer. That was Tommy's original screen name. It was NES Tetris Gamer. And we also, Alex T's was Tetris Gamer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had both of these players at the same time with very similar names. And I kind of browbeat them into changing their names because they're so generic. I said, guys, will you just change your names to something with a little more character? And they did. 762 for Dengler, 653 for Tommy. Yeah, they both had like almost identically generic and boring names at the same time. Dog says we could have had Tetris Gamer versus Nestris Gamer in the finals of Mega Masters. True, but I ruined it. Sorry, Dog. Meanwhile, we also could have had Dog playing Tetris and Doge Nestris. That never happened. Oh, Dengler not going to get that triple. This is a problem. Dengler going to recover and uncover and get a Tetris. 869 for him. And another Tetris down. He's going to bring this down. 902 for Dengler. 820 for Tommy NTG. Tommy setting up that little delayed burn here. Needs the L to convert it, but going to end up having to pile more on top. That's going to lead to some extra burning, and it's hard to give up this burning to a player like Dengler who can pace. All right, Tommy's setting up with that long bar. Column 9. Going to kind of mess up that that L piece here. Needs to uncover and just 11 lines away from 29. So Tommy has got to uncover. He does uncover. Would love a bar right now and gets it. Dengler is into 29 at B19. And Tommy's in at about 943. Dengler with some work to do here. Needs to access that left and build it out. To try to uncover these gaps in the middle of the board. Tommy with a Tetris, 991. He's back by about 140,000 points. Richard Wolf, thanks for the raid, by the way. Dengler set up in column 8 and gets it. C16. Tommy finally with the max out here on 31. And the board's starting to climb that left. Okay, bringing it down. Gets a square to that left to build out. Oh, no, that L to the left. That probably is going to seal Tommy's game, and it does. And Dengler is good in game number 2. All right, everybody's ready. Let's go ahead and get him started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Hey everybody, it's your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day. So we have Dengler up 2 games to none over Tommy. If Tommy wants to get into the semifinals, he's going to have to repeat what he did in round 1 against Ramatians. And that means winning 3 in a row, starting off 2 games down, a reverse sweep. And it all starts with 1 game, so you can only go 1 game at a time. Win this one, play the next one, win that one, and so on. That's tough against Dengler here, who's fresh off of his victory. in the Northeast CTWC Regional, no longer called qualifiers, because as it turns out, they never were qualifiers. You would win airfare and entry into the tournament, but it did not guarantee that you would actually qualify into the tournament. And I know for years that was like a sticking point. And as it turns out, all they needed was a different name. So call them regionals. Who'd have thought? Easy to solve. Just pick a new name. 183 from Tommy, 184 from Dengler. Dengler with the roller head shake. He tries to get a bar that is well timed. Trying to avoid covering that gap, which he does. Gets a Tetris. Now goes to work on that gap. 212, 231 for Tommy. No, they did not guarantee you any particular place. They would just, you would get the, basically, what was it, 1,000? I forget how much it was, but you would get that amount to apply to your lodging and airfare, whatever it was, 500, I forget. And I think they wouldn't charge you to enter the tournament or get a rental station, but it didn't actually qualify you into the tournament. See, that's why I still have some value. I still know some of the lore, right? So despite being substandard as an organizer and commentator, I still know some stuff. And that's why they keep me around. 350 for Tommy, 327 Dengler. Yeah, same score, same lines. 373, 160 through 74 lines. Pretty good pace. Dengler will Tetris. Tommy will take Burns. We still have yet to have a perfect tie in a CTM match. I don't know that it's never happened in any Tetris match ever. I can imagine like Club Zero mutual top outs or whatever. Andrew Meep says it happened once. It's happened a few times. Like in a top tier tournament or kind of lower stakes or what? Hasn't happened in CTWC and it hasn't happened in CTM Masters, but it might have happened. The only other, real high level, well, I don't want to, but the other event I consider to be like on the same level would be, I guess, be CTL kind of finals. Not finals, but the end, whatever the playoffs are in CTL. 538 Tommy, 532 Dengler. I mean, it's destined to happen. If Classic Tetris continues, I mean, it's going to happen. As long as it continues. 556 Dengler. He's going to take a triple here to bring this down. 564 Tommy. Dengler with the 5 below in the middle of the stack, up pretty high, so great recognition of what is happening. So Dengler looking for the L piece to spin in there. He'll find it. 632 for Dengler, 633 for Tommy. And we're just one line away, both players with huge, huge paces. Tommy is first in at 657. And Dengler is first in at 679. Two huge paces in game 3. And Tommy's got to be like, man, I get in there with like a 650 something and I'm down 2 games to 1. What do I got to do? Well, you're not even ahead. I mean, it's crazy. So if you want a good seed, play 5-9 D7 FA. 5-9 D7 FA. 738 Tommy, 779 for Dengler. I think that's a good way to practice, is just watch these matches or have them on and play the same seeds. I mean, if you have the tournament cartridge, the training cartridge, then play along with the commentary, play along with the players, and just see how you do. Especially to those of you out there who are like, oh, though you probably don't have the tournament cartridge, but you know, those of you who are like, oh, my mom used to get 1,000,000 points on Tetris. She gets it all the time on her Android phone. These guys aren't that special. All right, play along. Try to beat them. Just spend $200 on old electronics. 888 Tommy, 903 Dengler. I mean, to be fair, these old electronics, cheaper than buying a phone, right? And some days I'd rather not have the phone. All right, Tommy, one away from the max out. Now Dengler is. Tommy set up, gets the Tetris, has the max, level 25. And same with Dengler. So both players max out on level 25. It's pretty early max out. All right, Dengler Tetris has a gap in the stack, though. That'll cost a couple of burns. And he's already behind Tommy. And, you know, while we talk about Dengler pacing, Tommy can pace pretty well, too. And Tommy with the 1.1 on 26. Tommy going to have to create a gap here. That'll cost a couple of lines. Trying to avoid putting anything over it. All right, that's going to cost about 4 lines or so. Nice T for the middle to fill that out. B47 for Tommy. Dengler now in the lead. Just that small slowdown from Tommy was enough to give Dengler an opportunity to take the lead. C01 Dengler, C17 for Tommy. And of course, Dengler, well, a small lead anyway. When they're about the same line count, Dengler had the lead at that moment. So Tommy is into 29 at C29, C76 for Dengler. So 1.2 million. C is 1.2 million. D is 1.3 million. And so on until it rolls over after F. Dengler's board getting a little bit high here. And Tommy with a great looking board. Dengler is going to have to do something here. The board getting more complicated. That is going to be a top out for Dengler. And as we've seen multiple times in this tournament so far, Tommy in a chase down situation, a small one, he gets the Tetris to complete the little mini chase down. He might not have even known he needed it when he got it. But Tommy setting up the same story arc as his game one, was down 2 games to 1. And has now won game number 3. This is like the Tommy trap, right? Don't go up 2 games to none on Tommy, because he's got you right where he wants you. Dengler, try to avoid falling into the Tommy trap. GG's. Both players ready. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So yeah, I was about to go like, all right, let me set up the scene just in, you know, what seems the most likely event here is the player that's ahead is going to win. I don't want to touch it. OBS is being a bit finicky this last month or so. So I don't know. I think I have to recreate my scenes from scratch, or there's something maybe, I don't know, kind of dirty about my scenes, or so. I don't know. Something's happening. Well, just like in round number 1, Tommy was back 2 games to none. And now Tommy has won game number 3. Dengler wants to wrap it up right now. Tommy, a dangerous opponent, a former CTM Masters winner. Now, it was back in April 2021, but Tommy's still relevant at the highest levels and has a lot of tournament experience. Dengler, though, fresh off a victory at the Northeast CTWC Regionals, so has some momentum. $143 Dengler, $122 Tommy. These adjustments for Dengler. And Tommy also one to make adjustments. Both players capable of putting up huge, huge paces, making great adjustments. And those tuck setups for Dengler, certainly informed by his experience going for his perfect max out, where the stacking has to be no burns. And flat stacking is not going to necessarily take you there. You've got to set up a lot of delayed kind of setups there, tucks and things like that. And these are in full force for Dengler right now. So if you want a Tetris education, keep your eyes on Dengler's side. Now that can come back to bite you though, because even, this kind of stacking is kind of like done for, kind of heavy reset PB runs, right? Where if you top out, you can just move on to the next one. But Dengler's figured it out. He's found a way to play like this, but also be safe. That makes him very, very dangerous. 352 Tommy, 352 Dengler, 329 Tommy. All right, Dengler being forced into a little skim there. A couple Tetrises, though. We'll feel good about it. 400 through 80. Exactly where you want to be. And look at that adjustment of that S piece. Knowing the bar was coming in and had kind of a cozy place for that bar, was able to put that S over there in column 7 and 8. Now, imagine as a DAS player doing that. No way. You might see it. You might see that. But the ability to react like that and put those pieces there with such precision, it's not something you're typically going to do with as a DAS player, like most of us are, or a lot of us are sitting at home. 471 Dengler, 410. Kind of looks like those AIs, right? Like the Stack Rabbit and... Or what's that? What's the one? Is it Triple Machine? Is that the one that makes all the crazy... Where it saves all its adjustments for the last moment? Is that Triple Machine? There are Tetris AIs out there that every once in a while get thrown into a competition against one another. Stack Rabbit, Triple Machine. And the Triple Machine is the weird one. That's the one that saves all its non-default placements. Like it goes all the way back down to the bottom of basically where it does, and it does its adjustment like at the last possible moment. And so it just flings pieces left and right into an unexpected place at the last moment. That's what Dengler is kind of looking like right now. And yes, Nerd the Box pointing out on the subject of AI, Noah did study these AI placements, particularly Stack Rabbit, to learn stacking. Like literally computers, AI placements informing modern classic Tetris play. 633 for Dengler, 555 for Tommy as we approach 19, where the speed will increase by 50%. The pieces will be falling instead of one row every 3 frames, it'll be one row every 2 frames, thus a 50% increase Dengler's got to be a little careful here, though. Oh, okay. Gets that piece to the left to build this out. Tetris Tommy 584 and another one 608 as he heads into level 20. 649 for Dengler. So a little under 2 Tetris lead for Dengler right now. Actually, now, well, same line count, so actually less than a Tetris. Dengler's been burning a little bit, and Tommy was able to Tetris during that. All right, triple here for Dengler. Has to take the stack down a bit. Long bar to the left. Trying to keep that open. Getting a little droughted. Get out your trouts. It's a drought. Finally, a long bar. He can't use it. 676. This is going to allow Tommy to crawl back. Even it up. Javanti, especially... I think Javanti in the community is especially drought observant. It's always Javanti saying, oh, that drought, here's a drought. Oh, Tommy with that T-piece to cover the well. That's going to complicate things. Should be able to get out of it, but, you know, you have an expectation of what your board is going to look like and just kind of where it's going. And then when you do a misdrop like that, all of a sudden you got to totally recalibrate. At least I do anyway. But Tommy able to handle it, no problem. 774. Dengler able to stay pretty efficient, though, while Tommy works through that. And now Dengler with a real lead. 859 for him, 781 for Tommy. So you can always count on Javanti in the community to let us know that there's a drought happening, which I appreciate because I'm not always aware of him. You know, just bebopping along. Tetris Dengler 900. There's another one, 932. Tetris Tommy 850. We're into level 26. And Tommy back by about 6 lines and about 80,000 points. So it's actually, you know, Tommy maybe back by about a Tetris or so pace-wise. Mr. Brain is here. Stickman Productions. JS is here. All right, Dengler, a little bit of a complicated situation here, but still low enough. And there we go. Able to open up that well here on 28. 29 looms. The speed is going to double. There's a Tetris. Max out for Dengler. And heading into 29, Dengler at A24 gets a Tetris. A60. Tommy looking for one last one before he heads into 29. And another Tetris Dengler BO2. There's a skim and a Tetris for Tommy. A33 into 29. So I think Tommy had the higher 29 transition. There's a nice skim there for Dengler. He's going to take a safe triple there just to bring the stack back down. Try to build it out from scratch. Tommy set up for a Tetris. A79. Tetris gets over. Barely that long bar gets over. Another. Okay, what is. Oh my God. All right, so Tommy set up for another one. And there's another one over. B63. He's back by 50,000 points and back by 10 lines. Dengler's board getting a little complicated, but gets a bar to the right side for a Tetris to bring the board down. And Dengler is trying to fight this board down because Tommy is still within range and he's clean and clear and Tetrising. And Dengler going to top out at C64. And Tommy in another chase down situation. And he can't get the bar to the left. Can he get one over? No, and he can't complete the chase down. He was there. He was there, but he hung 3 pieces to that left side. And that was enough for Dengler to take game number 3. So GG to Dengler. Wow. Oh my word. Our number 1 seed will be moving on. So Dengler, you are good. And wow, a bracket winner. Tommy did amazing. I mean, always a thrill show when Tommy is here, and a fan favorite, of course. And another becoming kind of a crowd favorite, Dengler. So Dengler, congrats to you. You have won the orange bracket in a 3-to-1. A 3-to-1 has no business being that exciting. So GG's to you, Tommy. Hope to see you again. Right now, Dengler capping off a pretty good weekend, winning the Northeast Regional and now winning a ticket into the semifinals of the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event for August. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest Classic Tetris community online, at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.